Namaste everyone. This is Dr. Pratibha K.S., Head Department of Biotechnology at Kelly Society's S. Nilingappa College, Rajayanagar, Bengaluru. Today, one of my student, Miss Sona from CZBT second year, she is going to present amino acids. She already presented previous video, amino acids. Now she is going to continue with the same video, part 2, that is reaction of amino acids. Now over to Sona.
So thank you, ma'am. So let's now start from reactions of amino acids. So there are different types of reactions due to amino group, due to carbonyl group, due to side chain, and due to both amino and carbonyl group. So now the first type of reaction due to amino group, under this we have oxidative deamination. Here in this, the alpha amino group is removed and corresponding alpha keto acid is formed. Alpha keto acid produced is either converted to glucose or ketone bodies, or it is completely oxidized. So in this, in the initial step, there is removal of two hydrogen atom by the Falvin coenzyme, that is the FAD, with the formation of unstable alpha amino acid intermediate. So this intermediate undergoes decomposition by addition of water and forms the ammonium ion and corresponding alpha keto group. So this is the intermediate, this is the coenzyme, and this is the alpha keto acid. So now we'll next move on to the second step, the second one, that is the transamination. Here the transfer of alpha amino group from an amino acid to an alpha keto group to form a new amino acid and a corresponding keto acid. Here the NH3 from alanine has been transferred to the glutamate, and the double bond O of alpha ketoglutarate has been transferred to the pyruvate. So this is the transamination reaction. So, and the third reaction is the formation of carbamino compound. The carbon dioxide binds to alpha amino acid on globin chain of hemoglobin to form carbamino hemoglobin. This takes place at alkaline pH and serves as mechanism for transfer of CO2 from tissues to lungs by hemoglobin. So this reaction occurs in human bodies also. So here the COO, that is the carbon dioxide from CO2, has been shifted to COO minus, that is carbamino compound, and one H from here has been removed. So the next one is reaction due to carbonyl group. So under this, the first reaction is decarboxylation. Amino acid undergoes alpha decarboxylation to form corresponding amines. That is, glutamic acid forms GABA, histidine forms histamine, tyrosine forms tyramine. Here, the COO minus is removed. So, this COO minus is removed and forms the respective amines. So, and the next one is the formation of amide linkage. The non-alpha carbonyl group of an acidic amino acid reacts with ammonia by condensation reaction to form corresponding amides. So here the aspartic acid forms asparagine, glutamic acid forms glutamine. So So this aspartate is nothing but aspartic acid with reacts with NH3 to form asparagine. So the next one is the reaction due to the side chain or the R group. That is, first one is the ester formation. Here the OH containing amino acid, that is serine or threonine, can form esters with phosphoric acid in the formation of phosphorus proteins. OH group containing amino acid can also form glycosides, that is forming O glycosidic bond with carbohydrate residues. So this is an example of phosphoserine. At this part, phospho group is attached. At this place, this is the phospho group attached to this is the serine amino acid. So the next one is formation of disulfide bonds, that is reaction due to SH group. So the cysteine has a sulfhydryl group, SH group, and can form a disulfide SS bond with another cysteine residue. So the dimer is called the cysteine. So the two cysteine residue can connect two polypeptide chain by formation of interchain disulfide chains. So here this is one cysteine molecule and this one is another cysteine molecules. So both of these are combined by S and S. So here we can see the S and S chain, that is disulfide bond. Here 2H plus is removed, 2H plus ion is removed, and by forming cysteine, 2 cysteine forms 1 cysteine. So the next one is the transamination. The methyl group of methionine can be transferred after activation and acceptor for the formation of important biological compounds. So this methionine, after activation, it forms an different biologically important compounds, that is choline, folate, homocysteine, betaine, etc. So next one is reaction due to both amino and carboxyl group, that is the formation of peptide bond. So this is very important. Peptide bond is one of the strongest and most durable of all covalent bonds. It occurs by dehydration and condensation. Both reaction takes place. So you can see this is one amino acid, this is another amino acid. By the removal, that is dehydration of removal of H2O, that is dehydration, and condensation, that means here the C double bond O and NH has been combined. Here condensation takes place. Both takes place for the formation of peptide bonds. So we'll get the questions like how many peptide bond is formed between two amino acids. That means here one amino acid and here one more two amino acid. There will be formation of only one peptide bonds. So a polypeptide chain formed from n amino acid contains n minus 1 peptide bonds. If the amino acids are n in number, the formation of peptide bond will be in n minus 1 condition. So the shorter peptides are called the oligopeptides and longer peptides are called the polypeptides. So now we'll move on to the protein formation. So this is the structure of amino acid chain. So this is the primary structure. Primary structure means the linear structure of amino acid forms the primary protein structure. That means the sequence of a chain of amino acids. So next one, they undergo little bit of modification forming the secondary structure. So this is the secondary structure, that is pleated sheet, beta pleated sheet, or alpha helix. So hydrogen bonding of peptide backbone causes amino acid to fold into repeating pattern. So if the pattern is like this, then it is called as pleated sheet. If the formation is like this form, that is alpha helix. And this is the next step, that is the tertiary protein structure, and this is the fourth step, that is the quaternary protein structure. Some proteins get activated at this tertiary protein structure only, and some needs modification, and they again go to quaternary structure, and they get activated at quaternary structure. So now let's go to the colored reaction of amino acids. So there are 8 steps, 8 different tests for coloration of amino acids. So first one is the Ninhydrin reaction. So here this reaction, this Ninhydrin reaction is used to check whether a given analyte contains amines or alpha amino acid, or again it is used also to detect fingerprints. So here it is only given by alpha amino acids. So here the proline, this proline do not react with Ninhydrin reagent. That is, Ninhydrin reagent means nothing but 2,2 dihydroxyindane 1,3 dione is the Ninhydrin reagent. So proline is a secondary amino acid, so secondary structure, so it does not react with Ninhydrin reaction. So the second one is the Xanthoprotect test. This is given by only the aromatic amino acid, and it is used to detect amino acid containing aromatic nucleus. So the third test is the Millen's test. It is used to detect presence of soluble protein. So this is again a confirmatory test for tyrosine. So the next fourth step is the Biuret test, or again we can call it as Piotrowski's test. So it is used for detecting the presence of peptide bonds, and also used to assess the concentration of proteins. So this test is not given by free amino acids. Next we'll move on to the next step, that is the Sakaguchi test. It is used for detecting the presence of arginine in proteins. So it is only given by arginine. Then the next one is the Hopkins-Cole reaction. It is used for detecting the presence of tryptophan in proteins. So it is a confirmatory test for tryptophan. Next one is the lead acetate test. So it is used to detect amino acid containing sulfhydryl group. That is, it is only given by cysteine and cysteine, but not by methionine, because already we have learnt in the reaction, that is SS bond is only formed between cysteine molecule, that's all. So the next one is the nitroprusside reaction. It is to detect the presence of keto acid in blood and urine. So it is only given by SH group containing amino acids. So next, the functions of amino acids. So the first one is the functions of essential amino acid, and next one is the function of non-essential amino acid. So we'll move on to the first one, that is essential, that is phenylalanine. It is acts as a memory booster, maintains healthy nervous system. And next one is valine. So this valine, it promotes the muscle growth. So threonine, it promotes functions of immune system. Tryptophan, it produces vitamin B3 and serotonin. Then the isoleucine, it plays a vital role in formation of hemoglobin, synthesis of insulin, and transporting oxygen from lungs. So next one is methionine. It is used for treatment of kidney stones and maintaining healthy skin. Next amino acid is leucine. It promotes protein synthesis and growth hormones, production of growth hormones. Next is lysine. It promotes formation of antibodies, hormones, enzymes, and in development and fixation of calcium in bones. Next one is histidine. It is used for synthesis of RBCs and WBCs and many more enzymatic activities. And next one is the non-essential amino acid. So the first one is alanine. It is used for removal of toxin from body and production of glucose. Next one is cysteine. It acts as antioxidant, provides resistance to our body. Then next one is glutamine. It promotes healthy brain function and synthesis of DNA or RNA. Next, the glycine. It maintains proper cell growth, healing wounds, and also acts as neurotransmitter. And the next one is glutamic acid. It is involved in development and functioning of a human brain. Next one is arginine. Synthesis. It is used in synthesis of proteins and hormones, detoxification in kidneys, maintaining healthy immune system, and healing wounds. Next is tyrosine. It is used in production of thyroid hormones T3 and T4 and synthesis neurotransmitter and melanin. Melanin is a natural pigment in skin, hair, and eyes. Next is serine. It promotes muscle growth and synthesizes immune system proteins. Next is asparagine. It is used for transportation of nitrogen into body cells, formation of purine and pyrimidines, improves body stamina. Next one is aspartic acid. It plays major role in metabolism and synthesize other amino acids. Proline. It is used in repairing tissues, that is formation of collagen. Then prevents thickening and hardening of wall of artery. That this disease is known as arteriosclerosis, and regeneration of new skin. So let's move on to the last and final topic, that is deficiency of amino acid. So if there is deficiency of amino acid in our body, then it leads to anemia, diarrhea, depression, loss of appetite, fat deposit in liver, skin and hair related problems, irritability, and fatigue. So these are the references which I referred all this information. So thank you for your attention. So if you have any doubts, let's again have live doubts clearing session when the college reopens. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sona. Done really a wonderful job, presented really well, and covered so many information over there. Wherever we need the corrections, all that, no, we'll do that correction in the offline session. Okay. There are some corrections and there are some doubts are there. We'll do that one. Okay. Thank you, Sona, once again for spending your valuable time. And I express sincere thanks and gratitude to all the students who were in the online session. And if you are willing, you can also present like this, okay? And officially also I'm going to record, and this will be useful for you. And when you present in the next session, you should present better than this particular previous presentation, okay? Thank you, Sona.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for watching. I, Dr. Pratibha K, signing off for today. Stay tuned with me. I'll be back with some more interesting videos. Thank you.